Hello YouTubers, and welcome to the greenhouse here at St. Lymidia's Vicarage. I was going to address you from the church hall, but it's being used at the moment by the Girl Guides. Now this has caused small yet significant problem, as some of our parishioners seem to think it's not a good idea letting Girl Guides in anymore. You see, the problem is, the Girl Guides, despite 100 years at least of making promises to God, have suddenly decided that no longer need they make any promise to God, and God will be taken entirely out of the Girl Guides' promises. Well, this has caused problems with a few, I'm not saying it's me, but there are a few people who have said that they think this is wrong. And because of this, Girl Guides should no longer be allowed to turn up to church halls for their meetings. Well, I'm not that. I'm a progressive vicar. I'm not that sort of person. But there is one case, Reverend Paul S. Williams of St. George's Church, Feltham, Middlesex. Feltham, I think it is. And he says, after 100 years of making a promise to God, to allow the use of church halls to such a movement is hypocrisy and gives out a message from the church itself that God does not matter. Well, the National Secularist Society did respond to this, and I must say they did have a bit of a point, really. Said church halls receive subsidies. Well, can be true. St. George's received £31,706 in 1998 from a lottery fund towards community centre construction. And it is a state religion and has a duty to all citizens, not just Christians, unless it would prefer, of course, to be secular. Well, this got me thinking, and I'll just put that down. Got me thinking. Well, years ago, when I was a boy, I remember picking up a book. It was a book on the campaign in Matabeleland. And this was written by a very famous man who wrote an even more famous book called Scouting for Boys. Now, this was, of course, Robert Baden-Powell. And what I remember particularly about the Matabeleland book was a picture within it, and this picture depicted a man, and obviously a European type, and it was a drawing, and he had his gun, raised in this sort of clearing area, and I'll never forget, in this clearing area, and beyond there was a native chap, obviously a dark-skinned bloke, and he was doing some sort of dance, dance. And this man with the gun, peering down this gun, was shooting this poor, dancing native. And I looked at this picture and looked at the words below it, and the words below it said, "Silencing the Oracle." Well, I thought, this has brought me to Scouting for Boys. Baden-Powell, of course, was a man who started the Scout movement, and over the years, he was also a man that once was reported as saying that there's nothing more exhilarating than the sight of naked boys playing. It was an unfortunate title to his book, despite the fact it did sell many copies. The thing is, if I wrote a book today, Scouting for Boys, I think we would be laughed at, wouldn't we? Be laughed at. They would think I was a Catholic. And the thing is that things have progressed, even within the church, even within society. I don't think anymore that if we did go on a little adventure to a Matabeleland, I don't think that even the British Army would feel it's, good sport to just point your gun at a dancing man and shoot him. But of course, as I say, things have changed. And no longer does the sight of naked boys playing, probably on most people's mind, as one of the greatest things they could see. Waffling a bit, but my point is, and it's not really a sermon, but at the same time, my point is, things have progressed even within the Church of England, and we must embrace everybody. So here at St. Clemiria's, we will still be embracing the Girl Guides, even if they no longer wish to make an allegiance to God. They can, of course, individually make their allegiances to God, and I personally would be taking a different attitude towards visiting the Girl Guides. I don't feel it's my place to be there prostrating myself in front of them. I prefer to really keep a back step. I like to approach children from the rear. No, that's not right. From the rear, as in not being there full frontal, no. Anyway, basically, I don't think it's really going to change us here at the Church of England, and we will continue to fight these strange and secularist ways. And indeed, they may have pulled a punch this time, but we have plenty more punches that we can punch back at them, I think. That'll do. We'll cut there. I've had enough. Anyway, just to finish off, I don't personally think that we should really embrace 100 years ago where Baden-Powell started his Scout movement. The Scout movement have moved on, and of course so have the Girl Guides, so have the brownies and the rainbows that are associated with them. And I think that if we keep them close to us, within our church halls, especially if they're not Christian, then we have more chance of making them Christian. Keep the children close, I say. Well, not that close, obviously, we're not Catholics. Yes, that'll do for now. Bye for now, and may God be with you.